Before its dangers became universally acknowledged, asbestos was a valuable commodity in the world of shipbuilding in the 20th century. Resistant to corrosion and heat, it seemed an ideal material to overcome many shipboard dangers. Over 300 asbestos-containing materials were commonly used on ships until the 1970s. Although the Navy eventually instigated an asbestos abatement program, many of these materials remained in place on existing ships. Even now in the 21st century, some asbestos-containing materials is still allowed during new ship construction if no good alternatives exist. The most common use of asbestos on board has been for insulation. Asbestos could be found in pipe covering, which insulated hot steam pipes, hot water lines, and fuel lines. The sprayed-on form of asbestos insulation became highly friable over time. Preformed pipe insulation was a safer form but still contained asbestos that could be damaged by extreme conditions. Regardless of its form, pipe insulation was frequently cut off and replaced, exposing workers and anyone in the area to asbestos dust. Another common use of asbestos was in brick and cement used on pumps, turbines, compressors, and condensers, and virtually any other equipment that generated much heat. Boilers contained asbestos brick and asbestos liners sandwiched between brick and steel layers. Asbestos was also used in exhaust systems, including connectors and manifolds. Asbestos was used in meters, capacitors, dielectric paper, instruments and instrument paneling, rods, valves, packing assemblies, insulation felts, and adhesives. Beyond the engine room, asbestos was used in electric cabling, brake linings, gaskets and packing and flanges and valves, and as a component in sealing materials. An asbestos insulation layer might cover steel decking beneath a layer of cement. Floor tiles, wall and ceiling panels could also contain asbestos. Technocure, a European asbestos abatement company, has estimated that a ship of aircraft carrier size built prior to asbestos reforms could reasonably contain 500 to 1,000 tons of asbestos and asbestos-containing material. Personnel exposed to asbestos during the course of their work included ship fitters, machinists, pipe fitters, pipe coverers, boiler makers, electricians, welders, riggers, and engineers. In addition, on board a ship that contains friable asbestos materials, nobody is immune from asbestos dust exposure. Close quarters and poor ventilation increase asbestos hazards, and these conditions virtually define ship life. The International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, or SOLAS, introduced amendments in December of 2000 prohibiting new installation of asbestos-containing materials on all ships. There are 3 exceptions: vanes used in rotary vane compressors and rotary vane vacuum pumps, watertight joints and linings used for fluid circulation under certain high temperature or high pressure circumstances, and flexible thermal insulation assemblies used for temperatures over 1,000 degrees. The Navy voluntarily complies with SOLAS in some cases, although its fleet, being government-owned and non-commercial, is exempt from the requirements. Currently, very few asbestos-containing materials are used in the production of new Navy ships. The Navy's principal concern is now with the removal of materials as they become friable over time. Removal of asbestos is limited to intermediate maintenance activities, shipyards, and contractors. On board ship, personnel cannot remove asbestos except in an operational emergency when approved by the commanding officer. Thank you for watching. This video was produced by Asbestos.Net, a leading resource on all aspects of asbestos and mesothelioma. Our priority is to inform victims about the devastating effects of asbestos exposure, mesothelioma, asbestos cancer, asbestosis, and other asbestos-related diseases, and to advise them with a wealth of information. Individuals whose lives have been touched by mesothelioma have numerous questions and concerns. Their caregivers and family members also need accurate, reliable information. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos cancer and need more information, we invite you to visit and explore the thousands of pages of oncologist-reviewed material on Asbestos.net, to call our convenient toll-free number shown below and speak with a mesothelioma specialist, or to use the simple contact form found at Asbestos.net to request a free copy of our informative books, custom inserts, and DVD. Asbestos.net. Information and help for patients and families.